Alrighty. Release notes for the PUP September 2022. We're excited for you to take first look at the changes on their way of Age of Empires 4 for the upcoming Season 3 updates. Before diving into details about the changes, take a look at the welcome post to learn more about the dates of the preview, our goals, and how to provide feedback. For this preview, check out the new Civs, Ottomans, and Malians, and we have, and we will. 8 new maps, sneak peek of taunts and cheats, team ranked functionality, changes to naval balance, and many more. Alrighty. New features, new Civs, Ottomans. The Ottomans, we checked these out before, and the Malians as well, and you've seen my gameplay with both of them, and more to come, no doubt. There's going to be 8 new maps: forest spawns, hideout, mountain clearing, wetlands, prairie, waterholes, Mediterranean, and oasis. Then they will have cheats and taunts. Cheats. We've secreted away some cheats for the official release of Season 3, so look out for more. Big Bad Sheep turns sheep into wolves. One of Us converts selected units. This is fine. Set selected buildings on fire. Smorgas board. Grant yourself 100,000 of all resources. Taunts. Yes. No. Good luck, have fun. Are you ready to battle? Oh, I can't wait. The anticipation is killing me. Ding ding. I need to hear all of these. Wait, is this oh, you guys couldn't read it. Yeah. Now you can read it. Yeah, I zoomed it in. There we go. There we go. Ding ding. All hail. All hail! King of the losers! We need to hear all of these. Ooh, hey, I'm in your town. Group laugh. All being rushed? Who's all? Group cheers. Start the game already! They said these taunts are inspired by AoE2, AoE3, AOM, I believe. And maybe some unique AoE4s. And they're all made by Relicants. They're all made by Relic devs, in-house production. It'd be cool to get a look into that. I wonder how it's going to be. Basically the same as Warcraft 2 and a lot of Warcraft 3, that the devs just did the voice work. Imagine having a programmer and then they also have like a really good voice for that kind of stuff. Naval Rework. We've previously let you know that we're adding some changes to naval combat, such as enhanced tactical combat, more explosive battles, reworked balance, and more. In this PUP build, you'll now be able to see the brand new upgrade paths for the arrow ships, fire ships. More about the naval rework here. Waypoint markers. You'll be able to see gold waypoint markers for any time you move, blue waypoint markers for when you do an action, and red waypoint markers anytime you attack or patrol. That's great. Catching up to the rest of the RTS greats in this department. I'm very happy about that. Looking forward to see how that looks like. Ranked team matches, finally. There are a couple of known issues, like farm auto placement being worse when the ping is worse. Okay, AI improvements. They're no longer going to run scouts into your town center and donate sheep to you. And AI generally gets better. Which, feel free to pause the YouTube video so that you can read it. I'm also going to link the patch notes in the description below. There we go. Not going to go through these one by one because AI is a short-term enjoyment for me, and then I go to the multiplayer. Naval map rework, Archipelago and Warring Islands. To coincide with Season 3 naval rework effort, we are dusting off Archipelago and Warring Islands, giving them a bit of a sprucing up. Get it? I don't actually get it. What's sprucing up? Is sprucing up like when you use a water mystifier to moisturize something? If that's what it is, then I do get it. To accommodate the high wood upkeep cost of a naval fleet, we've greatly increased the amount of forests that spawn on islands. Oh, that's spritz. Oh, that's spritz. Oh, spruce! A tree! Oh, they said get it before they explained about the extra trees. No, I get it now. The spruce, the lark, the mighty Scottish fir. I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. I sleep all night and I work all day. I chop down trees, I eat my lunch, I go to the lavatory. We have reduced the amount of other resources a bit, reduced large gold mines to give more space for additional trees. Island coastlines Island coastlines have also altered to eliminate coastal cliffs and mountains, giving more room for docks. Okay, that's good, that's good. Deep sea fish are more even. Yeah, there was no reason really throughout the entire balance of AoE4 for deep sea fish to be such a hit and miss RNG fiesta. I couldn't believe that AoE4 had random maps when I started playing the game. Playing the game, loving the game, but thinking, man, SC2 and WC3 with their standardized maps feel pretty good for balance right now compared to RNG. I do like RNG, but it was a bit too much, so okay, cool. Now you don't know where it is, but at least you get it, rather than you don't get deep sea fish, but I do. So, Archipelago and Warring on Ladder. Let's see how that works out. See if people finally will love water with the rework. A couple of other map changes. I think this is all good stuff, but you can pause and read it for yourself. Then hotkey updates. Shift queuing inconsistency issues. A couple of extra. It's too late for me, I feel like, to change my hotkeys again with the limited amount that I play AoE4. If I was playing 7 days a week, it might be different, but yeah, I already learned the game on the version 0.3, and then they came with 0.1, and now they have finally version 1 for the hotkeys. AoE4. So yeah, it's a bit too late for me, but it's good that you can do all this. Then, the Naval Rework. All Civs. Changes to ships, building, siege, and shared technologies. Let's check it out. Each class of ship now shares the same stats. That means about... Bow... They misspelled. That means that a Bautron and a Karak are both equal in cost and power. We intend to add ship variations back in the future as we look to refine naval balance further. However, our goal with this update is to create a solid foundation that we can continue to build from. Wow. Kind of going the opposite that, for example, Heroes of the Storm went, where you start with the standardized talent kit. Everyone has Envenom, everyone has Shield, everyone has Mule, everyone has Resurgence of the Storm, and then slowly making it more unique. They had the unique units. People hated it for the most part. Now they're standardizing it, and then they'll go back to unique. So definitely not afraid to make big sweeping changes with their naval balance, and I think probably it's the right way to go. They're taking a risk here, and I think it's a good risk. We moved the Springald ship and Incendiary ship to the Feudal Age for all Civs, making naval combat far more exciting even in the early stages of the game, now that there's classic RPS counter system in place. Archer will beat Incendiary, will beat Springald, will beat Archer. Yeah, this is how it was supposed to be, but it didn't work out because guess what? F you, French get Hulk at level 2. Okay, so with no new naval units being unlocked in Castle Age, we've now added a number of tiering upgrades, which are available to all civilizations. Each ship type has a Castle Age and Imperial Age upgrade available to it, as well as the new Armored Hull and Shipwrights upgrades, which improve the health and armor of all ships. Ship costs have been changed across the board. I wonder how Tier 3 versus Tier 2 ships will be squaring off against one another. I'm really curious about that. Yeah, and what happens to Rus ships? Lots of questions about that as well. Ships are going to be cheaper, they're going to be training faster. Then there's movement and turn rate changes that should make them feel more fun and responsive to use. Ships can no longer cancel a garrison command upon colliding with another unit. What? I don't know what that was. Ships can no longer go under bridges. They could do that? Oh, I think I saw one ship stuck in a bridge on the screenshot. You can now click fishing deposits better. Good. Fishing ships can see into stealth and fog on water like a scout. Well, that's a good change. I think that's a really good change. Otherwise, you had to put a scout in a transport ship, and it was a little bit tedious. Fishing boat, line of sight, 14 tiles. Trade ships, 3 times cheaper in the wood, made twice as fast, less health. We want to make trading on naval ships much more accessible. The goal is to reward. Oh, I'm not sure about this one. T-Tours, danger, yeah. There we go. Where did it go? Trading ships. Yeah, I'm not sure about this one at all. Yeah, I think this is not right. They're basically making trade ships extremely cheaper and not dropping the benefit. So now water supremacy will basically be even more important than before. So it's still very much about if you win water, you will dominate. And it's worse now. I thought they were going to do this and then also reduce water trade gains in half. I'm going to say that I disagree with this one. Transport ship health reduced. Hard to say with the damage of ships maybe going down. If the damage of ships is not going down, I'm not sure this is generally a good thing. I think transport play is the last desperate ploy of someone that lost water. I think it's fun cheese sometimes. I think it's nice aggression, and it's tedious enough to use sometimes that I feel like you should be rewarded, and I'm not sure about this. But if there's going to be land trading changes, maybe it applies to water Shinuba, and then maybe trading is weaker. I don't know. So there's going to be the Springled ship, which will be the Hulk, Bagla, War Junk, Lodja Springled ship, and the War Canoe. Food cost 120, wood cost 200. Wait, ships now cost food? Wow, that's new. Before it was just wood and gold. Train time, pop 3, health 450, ranged armor 3. Ranged armor 3, okay, this is going to be interesting. How much did Hulk have? And initially Hulk had like 8, I believe. And then they set it to 2. And then when it goes to feudal, it was like 6 again. Something like that. Attack speed, turn rate. Bonus damage versus archer ships. Bonus damage versus buildings. Oh, I see. And what is their damage? 35. So they're going to do 75 to buildings, which means 25 will penetrate. That means you will need 40 hits to take down a dock, not accounting for burning. So fewer hits. Okay, so Springlets can take down docks. They're going to take down archer ships and units on land. But with 35 damage, they are significantly weaker against land units, which is probably a good thing. Before French Hawks had, I believe, 60 damage? No, it's more. No, 100. I believe they had 100 damage. So they were doing a lot of damage to docks. Twice as much as they will be doing now. Yeah, I think it's gonna be less damage on ground units. Incendiary ship. Incendiary ship is going to be 80 wood. What? 80 wood? No gold and no food. Bonus attacks against broadside ships, which I guess is Springled, which is what they're meant to counter. Buildings to 300. Health 145. Rotation speed increased. Move speed set to 2. Not sure if that is going to be a... I'm actually going to move this display capture up a bit so that you always have the newest part, not the oldest part, because it was going T-Tours again. Yeah. Bonus movement speed set to 2 tiles. I don't know if that's up or down. I'm assuming it's up a bit, but yeah, they could have said if it is up or down. Improving the quality of life for our naval units has been on the radar for a long time. Demo ships will no longer sail uselessly towards an attack move destination. Incendiary ships can now better utilize attack move commands. They will now scan for targets along the way, and if an enemy unit is within range, they'll move towards them and detonate. Yeah, like Banelings in SC2. It's what you would want when you A-move. That said, we don't believe in automating away the value of good micros, so the optimal use of incendiary ships will always be through direct player management. Incendiary ships deal damage more reliably against targets that are moving directly away from them. What? Oh, okay. I thought they're even better against ships that are moving away from them than against ships that are moving towards them. Then I think, I will meet demo ships head on. Blow me up, Scotty. But no, they'll do better against the ones that are running away, but better than before when they were running away. Not better than the ones that are meeting head on. Okay, warship, Karak, Baochuan and Shebek. 700 health, 200 wood, 200 food, 200 gold. Wow, okay. So 600 resources. I believe before they were like 1,000. Maybe it was like 600, 400, 400, 600, something like that. I might be a bit off here on the details. Pop decreased to 5. Damage type change from range to siege. I see. I siege. Archer ship, 9150. 0 gold. How much damage does it get? Archer ship. 6. So it's going to do 3 damage on springled ships, which have 3 ranged armor. And how much ranged armor is there for the warship? Attack range 9. Where's the ranged armor? They didn't say. Guess they didn't care. Galley ass. 90, 150, 150. 95 damage, 600 health. Bonus damage to buildings 80. Range 9. I see. Dock, 2000 health. I think that's double. Before it was 1000. So they really want to allow you to keep a presence on water more. So that actually means that a springled ship in Feudal will take not 40 shots on the dock, but 80, not counting burning. That is up from just 20 for the French Hulk in the release patch. Ship healing per second. Added a new defensive arrow emplacement. Ah, defensive arrow emplacement. So docks will self-protect like town centers. If you hate this change, you can also partially blame me. I mean, I've given many ideas to the devs, and one of them is that once you lose water, they will camp your dock and you can never make a new ship, which means no matter how rich you are, you can never regain water because the ships will camp your dock and then you will lose the dock, and every new ship comes out piecemeal will also die, which is very different than the experience on land where your town center can protect and allow you to rebuild an army after you fall behind. So there were no comeback mechanics on water. So I also said, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, what if a dock is like a water TC? Because guess what? It's actually like a water TC. It makes food gathering units, and it's part of your water base, and unless you also want a water barracks. Like it's a water TC and a water barracks in one now. So it's going to protect itself with arrows. I think that makes sense. And there's going to be less bonus damage from land things against ships. So you will need more ships again to kill ships, relatively speaking. And you can now do that because docks protect themselves with 11 tile range. That's a lot. Seeing as how most water ships have 9 range. 9 the most. Yeah, so easy outrange, easy peasy. And then there's going to be a whole bunch of changes to research, which is extended lines is going to cost less. Drift nets is going to cost less. Explosives quicker. Armored hull. All ships gain 20 health and 1 ranged armor. Extra hammocks. More arrows. Then there's going to be shipwrights. Also health and ranged armor. And it comes after armored hull. Incendiary. Springled crews. 1 range and 20 attack speed. Swivel cannon. That we already had that one before, roughly. They say it's new, but you know, we had something like that. It was ballista. Arrow ships set enemy ships on fire. The heated shot, so that's incendiary for water. Then there's gameplay changes coming up. Allied scouts cannot steal unguarded sheep for allies in team play. Enemy scouts cannot steal sheep that are near allies. Players can use herd ability to give sheep to allies. So that's cool. Sheep will no longer slow down while approaching the building after being herded towards a TC. Well, that's good. I had a lot of extra micro with that. I mean, I got good at it, knowing how to properly manipulate, but it was kind of unnecessary and finicky. Good. You can now pick up relics with shift queued commands. Good. Attack range on TC now shows units exiting ramps or other transports will now become selected by default instead of the transport. Well, that's good too. I still think this is probably not going to work as well as I think it should, but it's better than before. Then reduce the cost and research time for food gathering, wood gathering, and mining technologies. Okay. Feudal age research time down to 45. Total resource cost. Wow, this is big. Increase the depth of economic decision making. Often you would skip these in feudal because it's more effective to go for castle or wait. Yeah, this is true. Or to wait until high villager counts. I'm gonna love trying to. This is huge, guys. These researches were not that strong. We all know about feudal or even dark age wheelbarrow, but you generally did not get the upgrades because like 250 or 250 resources in feudal age, that's going to cost you your castle. 150, it's still going to slow down your castle, but you'll be richer when you get there. And yeah, it's a big difference, 100. I could definitely see someone getting something like 18 Vills on food and then getting that food gathering rate really, really early. That's a pretty big change. Interesting to see how that will change my Chinese triple TC Song Dynasty feudal play. All buildings set for a weapon priority of 80, so units will just attack the closest building instead of targeting specific ones. Note they'll still prioritize buildings which attack them back. Alright. I wonder if this will manifest as generally a positive or negative change. I mean, it makes sense that buildings generally have the same priority. I don't have the issue per se, but I've seen some casuals complain that when they A-move through an enemy base, that their units, their archers, stop to attack a house or a barracks or something, rather than going all the way deep into the base to fight with the units that are kiting away from their men-at-arms. But I think it makes sense. Like, if an archer gets an attack move command, he should attack buildings first, rather than deep diving the base until he can find a unit. You know, if you want that, you gotta move in there first, then A-move when you're in range. But yeah, I've seen an issue with that for casuals, so I don't know if this is like gonna make any change for pros or casuals. We'll see. Relic gold generation down to 80. Okay, I do think generally in AoE4 there's a little bit too much infinite resource generation, and I don't think this is gonna move the needle too much. Like, there can be games where you always have infinite food, infinite gold, and wood can be as good as infinite, and sometimes they can make long games. I'm seeing a lot of, and it's kind of my playstyle too, but I'm seeing a lot of like half-hour to 1 hour plus games. I think it would be nice if AoE4 had more like 20 to 40 minute games. But that's probably also a result of my playstyle, because I'm not really a RAM all-inner. And yeah, you'll be a little poorer with these relics. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a good balancing. It doesn't really address what I said, but I think it makes sense. Torch range increased for non-villager units. Okay. Scouts now have 1 damage, so that you can't harass villagers as well. I think that's good. From 2 to 1. They used to have 4, you know. Then they got 2. They attack faster, but with 2, so that armor is more effective against them. But villagers have no armor, so now it's actually going to be 1. That's a big change. I think your average game length is probably a good 5 to 10 minutes longer than the average. Yeah, I think so too. Spearman get... This is pretty big. Dark Age Spearman plus 10 health. Spearman damage plus 1 damage. Making Dark Age spears better at early night harassment defense, as well as increasing effectiveness when fighting English Ma. This is nice, I think. And it's also a buff to Horseman Spearman in general. Horseman Spearman composition. Infantry charge, minimum trigger distance reduced from 2 to 1.
You're the king? Well, I didn't vote for you.
You're the king? Well, I didn't vote for you.
Infantry charge duration increased from 5 to 7. Ram weapon range from 1.15 to 2.15. That's kind of a big deal. Easier to get hits without having to pan around. Bonus damage to walls increased from 100 to 200. Ah. What about against keeps? I guess it's not meant to be. Trebuchets, bonus damage reduced by 50. Then trading. Village repair animations will now look smooth and loop properly. Yeah. They should fix the thing where if you're already repairing something and you click repair again, that there's an actual half a second to a second delay where it doesn't do anything. That's what should be fixed. Because in WC3, SE2, when you're repairing something and you click again, it's like nothing happens, nothing changes. Now the question is, why should you want to click again? Well, it's pretty simple. If I have, let's say if I right click my villagers on my landmark, I'm like power build this landmark, then I hold shift and I right click on my town center. I want them to go to my town center after. Then I think, you know what? Actually, I want them to go to wood afterwards. So I take all my vills again. Again, I reaffirm the right click on the landmark, which is the only way to continue landmark production while wiping the slate of the follow-up shift queue commands. Then I shift click on the wood. So I need to do that in order to reset the follow-up command to wipe that slate, that history of the future essentially. And when you do that, they're working, and then they're like, and then they start working again. And that's a problem that doesn't affect other RTSs, and they should fix that. It's nice that now that new bug that we had where they don't look smooth for a bit is going to get fixed, but they still need to work on that. Gonna note that to the devs as well, as you see. Villages no longer only partially drop off resources when drop off is cancelled. Yeah, this is also a bug I showed where you could drop off five resources and you only get 3, but you lose everything when you do a perfect frame cancel. APOs no longer be interrupted while dropping off resources when being stuck by attackers. Return to work command now occurs on all selected structures simultaneously. Traders will now move out of the way if they were preventing Stonewall. Traders cost reduced to 60-60. Build time to... So they're actually buffing land and water trade. The land trade buff, I don't mind it too much, though it is a significant buff. We'd like to see more trade earlier in the game. Okay, I'll do it. I'll get some feedback on that. And then I still think water trade is too strong. They just straight up buffed it. Building multiple farms with shift queuing, I guess it does give you a reason to fight on water if you're both trying to trade. But like I'm afraid one of them will win and the other will not win. But maybe there'll be more back and forth with RPS. Who knows? With the RPS counter system. Multiple farms with shift queuing on top of a mill or TC will now consistently, predictably. Oh, this is. Oh, let's hope this is true. When constructing a wall with 2 or more vills, they will no longer sometimes idle instead of assisting with the construction. Okay. That's good. That's for wooden walls, I believe. I'm not sure that stone walls can be power built with more than 1 vill, 1 partition. I believe not. I always see them spread out. Opposite. Trader units can no longer trade for stone. Also to the French. I see. And then Naval Rework change. Chinese. Reload drills, research time from 90 to 60 seconds, costs from 1,000 to 500. That's for the bombards. I guess bombards got much weaker recently, so yeah, I think that makes sense. Fix the bug where the IO could not manually drop off taxes. Yep. Good change. Now you can drop off manually at the second TC, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. Granary now contains the economic technologies. Ah, that's really nice. Now I can get my horticulture there while still supervising for bonus food there. Very good. Then Spiritway landmark research speed even faster. Nice. Get those elite fire lancers out quickly. Fire lancer ranged armor from 0 to 3. Yeah, let's buff them. Yeah, no, I think that's great. I would prefer not to worry anymore about making other units. I would prefer just to turtle for 50 minutes and make only fire lancers. It's going to make it a lot simpler for me to know how to play the game. I'm going to stonewall and make keeps. Going to make lots of fire lancers, and there's not much you can do about it. I love it. Then, Naval Rework. Delhi Sultanate. Infantry will no longer assist. Yeah, there was a bug where you could do stonewall facilitation if you made a wooden wall and a stone wall next to each other, but you didn't have compound. You can still exploit that on live service right now, but you shouldn't because you have morals. Yeah. Delhi still is mostly bug fixes. You know, others they get like balance changes and stuff, but with Delhi, the balance is always how bugged are they. It's always been like that. Scholars will now be removed from the global scholar count when a mosque or madrasa with Garrett scholar is destroyed. Force march move speed bonus is no longer removed until the unit has committed an attack. Ah, that's a big buff. That's a bug buff. Before, you had to make sure never to even think about attacking. The moment the soldiers even thought about attacking, they lost their movement speed. Now it's when they actually attack. That's a big, big, big buff. Casually skipping the nested beast for Bouchuan. Yeah, I was skipping the water stuff because I figured I'm just going to downvote all the water maps anyway. Bouchuan's gain a nested beast emplacement. Okay, that's actually sick. Thanks for putting my attention on it, Owl the Molfar. Yeah, no, maybe I should give it a chance. Maybe water will be good, guys. Maybe. Tower of Victory now buffs all infantry built from buildings in influence instead of units who move. What? That's a buff and a nerf. So now you have to build around it again, like the old Spirit way. But now you can't walk through it anymore? Like, isn't that worse? And before you could at least rally past it, though it disincentivized Praxi barracks building. How about both? Either you're built from the circle, or you move through it. I feel like it's a nerf. It's a quality of life improvement, while being an actual strength nerf. If it was in addition, that would be a good thing, the high notes, I think. Naval Rework allows scholars to garrison in docks. Each scholar increases production speed of local docks. Wow. Can also contribute to global research if they're connected to Delhi influence. English, fixed some bugs. Vanguard Ma actually get more health. Wow. They really want to have some drush, some Dark Age rush. The Persians of AoE4. Vanguard Ma have 1 more damage. Wait, 8? 8 times 6? 48. 9 times 6. Oh, they're gonna need 1 hit less to kill Vills. Cost changed from something to something. Admiralty goes up. +1 range. I see. I see. French Naval Rework. No longer stone. Naval Rework. Okay, long guns. Page number 2, HRE. Fix the bug where arrows from the Palace of Swabia landmark would spawn in the incorrect position. There's some bugs. Bug fixes. Yeah. And then the naval, so no balance changes for HRE. Mongols. Wait, who got mega tilted by this, guys, recently? Who got mega tilted by this? Was it the Muslim? The Muslim with a super early leave after he got like 6 units or 10 units stuck in a stone landmark. I mean, it happened to me before too, once on Ancient Spires against the Mongol. Yeah, it was the Muslim, right? Wrecked. Ovu no longer affects villager counter. That's good. I mean, is it good? Is that actually good though? I don't feel like it is good. Well, it depends what it means. Does it mean on the graph? Or does it mean you no longer have a 1 on your stone villager counter? Wouldn't Mongols want the 1 to be on the stone if they have an active OVU? Wouldn't that be a way for them to know that they have an active OVU? If now it doesn't show the 1 anymore, I think that would probably be a bad thing, but well, remains to be seen. Early Horseman health goes up by 10, +1 damage. Similar treatment as the Vanguard Men-at-Arms. More drush, more strategy in the start. Yeah, I mean, Horsemen are really expensive. And Men-at-Arms and Horsemen are really expensive early on. They're like the weaker version of Spearman Rush for Mongols. So let's see how that goes. Traction Trebuchet +1 range. 14 to the 16 of other trebs. And then Piracy. Gain resources per enemy killed ship. Wow. And Rus. Streltsy. Bug fix. Warrior monks are going to be produced faster. Yikes. They're already so fast though. Warrior monks faster. Streltsy static deployment no longer provides a stacking bonus. It now gives a flat 30% attack speed after 10 seconds. Wow. That's a nerf. That's a big nerf, right? Was it always up to 30? I think that's a big nerf. Yeah, now you can really try to outmaneuver the Streltsy a bit more rather than just saying, bro, they hit hard and they're only gonna keep hitting harder every single second. Who's standing around for 10? Well, not much anymore. I guess in one of those big static deployment battles with the battle trenches and non-stop sending units at each other. Yeah, it's more defensive now. Yeah, I think that's a good thing. I haven't played AoE4 in like 8 months. Do I need all the patch notes or can I just get back in? You can just get back in. Base build orders didn't change that much. Just the meta. If you understand the economy, you can still play. Alright, those are the patch notes. Hope you enjoyed. More Age of Empires content coming up on the channel. Make sure to sub.